Ever had one of those days where it feels like the rug's just been pulled out from under you? Or maybe, you're putting in all this effort, but it just feels like you're spinning your wheels. Like what you're building isn't, well, quite right. That's exactly the kind of flux we're diving into today. Our mission, really, is to explore change, impermanence, drawing wisdom from some pretty unique sources for July 9th, 2025. This deep dive is all about helping you find your balance when things are, well, truly shifting. Okay, let's unpack this because I'm genuinely curious how ancient wisdom, especially something so specific, can give us a real anchor when we're feeling, emotionally confused or restricted today.
And that's precisely it. That's what we're going to explore. Our main source material for this deep dive comes from Tarot by High C. Specifically, we're looking at their Astrology of the Day, the TarotScope, and a really powerful storytime piece, all focused on July 9th, 2025. And for anyone listening who wants to check out more from High C or maybe schedule a reading, you can find them at tarotbydeji-ic.net. That's HIIC. So this deep dive, basically, we're going to distill the key insights on handling days that ask us to, build something real, but also stay open to adjustments. It's about what happens when energies are moving and things shift, maybe unexpectedly. We want to give you a shortcut to understanding life's deeper rhythms.
Okay, so looking at the astrology for July 9th first, it immediately hits you with this interesting paradox, right? That wanting more can actually block success. It feels like the universe is sort of gently saying, hey, stabilize what you've got before rushing off into something new. It paints this picture of a day where you're trying to build something solid, yeah, but the ground just keeps moving underneath.
hmm And what's truly fascinating here is how the energies align, or sometimes how they don't align. They really suggest a crucial need to find that common ground between our hopes, our aspirations, and our practical discipline. Especially if we're feeling emotionally, well, confused or restricted. The advice is pretty clear. Give yourself permission to lie low. Take things slowly. Obstacles might pop up from, say, dwindling resources, or maybe just from trying to do too much at once. But the good news, and the sources really emphasize this, is that these setbacks, they're described as temporary.
Okay, temporary's good. That's a relief. But it does raise a question. If the ground is shifting and our efforts feel imperfect, how do we practically go about maintaining what we have without just getting stuck in negativity?
That's the key challenge, isn't it? It's really about staying grounded in what you can actually touch and see right now,
Hmm.
the tangible stuff. But at the same time, staying open to the idea that your big vision, your grand plan, might need some, well, significant adjustment. And critically, avoiding those really negative thought spirals. For instance, in the morning, you've got the Capricorn moon squaring Saturn. Now, for those not deep into astrology, squaring usually means a challenge, a tension. So that can make our efforts feel like they're just hitting a wall or, like you said, building on shifting sand. Then it also squares Neptune, which can really cloud our vision, make the path ahead seem unclear right when we need that sure footing the most.
Right, so a bit of a foggy, maybe uphill climb in the morning hours, but then things shift in the afternoon. Is that right?
Precisely. Later in the day, that Capricorn moon opposes Jupiter. An opposition means they're directly across from each other. It creates this dynamic tension, but it can actually offer a kick of confidence, some optimism maybe. The caution, of course, is don't fall prey to overinflated expectations. Don't overextend yourself based on that sudden boost. Stepping back, what this day's astrology really paints is a dynamic flow, a significant push and pull throughout the day between, let's say, restriction and expansion.
That dynamic flow, that push and pull, it actually brings us perfectly to the tarot scope of the day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it so powerfully captures this whole essence of impermanence with tarot card number 10, the Wheel of Change.
Absolutely. That card is such a profound symbol, a reminder that, well, everything is impermanent. It's all constantly moving, transforming, rising and falling in this eternal cycle. It really highlights the dynamic, ever-shifting nature of things. And the core message there is, release attachment to specific outcomes. Don't cling too tightly to your original plans. Energies are clearly in motion. It's not about abandoning your goals entirely, mind you, but being adaptable in how you get there. Think of it like maybe you planned a road trip, a specific route, and suddenly there's major construction, a huge detour. Releasing attachment isn't canceling the trip. It's finding the hidden wisdom in that detour. Maybe you discover a scenic route you never would have seen or find a better spot along the way.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we might feel circumstances shifting, maybe unexpectedly, old patterns dissolving, or maybe new opportunities popping up seemingly out of nowhere. The wisdom here is that if we find ourselves facing changes we didn't see coming, whether that's in our mood, our relationships, practical stuff, we should try to flow with it rather than, resist. Even what feels like chaos holds some kind of hidden wisdom, redirecting us perhaps to places we didn't even realize we needed to go. Everything passes. The advice seems crystal clear. Ride the wheel. Don't get caught under it.
Exactly. And this idea, this profound concept of riding the wheel instead of being crushed, which we get from the tarot, it really comes alive in the storytime segment for the day. It's aptly
Yeah.
titled The Turning of the Wheel. It tells the story of Lyra, a young woman. She comes to this valley with a sacred wheel called the Cycle of Stars. Her world had basically unraveled. Her father was ill. The harvest failed. Her love had vanished. She carried these losses like heavy stones.
And the story goes, the elders spoke of the wheel's magic, didn't they? How those who dared to turn it would see the truths of their lives laid bare. So Lyra approaches it, asks it to show her why. Why did everything have to fall apart? And as the wheel turned, these images just burst forth, moments of joy, sorrow, betrayal, rebirth, even glimpses of a future not yet lived.
Right. And this part of the story where the voices of the wheel actually speak to her, it offers such a powerful twist on acceptance. They told her, nothing remains, nothing is lost. All things turn and you turn with them. Ride the wheel or be crushed beneath it.
Wow, nothing remains, nothing is lost. That's such a profound paradox, and the story mentions her finding strange, wild comfort in that impermanence. What does that tell us about our usual human resistance to change? It says tears fell freely then, not from grief, but from that, well, strange, wild comfort.
I think it suggests that our resistance, our clinging, that's often what burdens us the most. It's the fighting change that weighs us down. When the wheel stilled for Lyra, her burdens felt lighter, even though nothing external had actually changed yet. Only her perception, her acceptance had shifted. She realized she didn't need to know exactly what lay ahead. She just needed to move with the turning.
So, recapping the core theme of this deep dive, then, it really is all about this wheel of change and the profound truth that all things are impermanent,
Hmm.
constantly moving, transforming, rising, falling. We should remember that powerful message from Lyra's story and the wheel's voices. Nothing remains, nothing is lost. All things turn, and you turn with them.
Mm-hmm. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, what's truly profound is that this hidden wisdom often is found right in the middle of what feels like chaos. It can redirect us, like we said, to places we didn't realize we needed to go. And it echoes that practical advice from the astrology. Maintain what you have, stay grounded in the tangible, and consciously try to avoid those really negative thought patterns.
Exactly. The core advice boils down to release attachment to outcomes. Don't cling too rigidly to plans. Instead, try to flow with these movements rather than resist them, even when you're faced with shifts in mood or relationships or just practical day-to-day stuff. So for you, listening right now, the wheel's voices urged Lyra, ride the wheel or be crushed beneath it. What does it mean for you personally to gracefully move with life's deep rhythms? And how could embracing the impermanence of things actually lighten your burdens, whether it's a big life change or just, a challenging week? How could it help you, just as it did for Lyra?
It's definitely something to reflect on. And we encourage you, if you're curious, to explore the source material further. You can find more insights from High C at tarotbyhahaic.net.